Good morning. This is the video for rounding to estimate and approximate. So we've done some work on rounding last week, and we're just going to put that back into practice again today. The reason it's a good idea to round is because it helps us to estimate the answer to a question. And the reason why we should try and estimate the answer to a question before we do it is we can check to see if we've gone wrong when we do the actual calculating. We've got this first question here. Rosie is working out 2,937 plus 1,870, and she rounds each number to the nearest thousand so she can get an estimate. So we've got to complete these sentences first. So what is 2,937 rounded to the nearest thousand? So what thousand is that closer to? Is it closer to 2,000? Is it closer to 3,000? And then same with this one here. Then when you've got your two estimates, so these two boxes, one goes there, one goes there, and you can work out the answer, your estimate answer. Then you can do the actual calculation using our maths knowledge of addition, which we've covered already this week, and then we get the actual answer there. And then we can just check that, because when we do this answer, if this is really far away from this one, then we might want to go back and check our answer here. Then we've got question 2. It's just asking us to do the same thing, but you don't have to do the real answer. You're just having estimate answers for each one. So round that to the nearest nearest thousand. Round that to the nearest thousand, and then you've got these two bits, and then add those two things together to get the estimated answer. And then same with this two. Just remember this one's a takeaway or subtraction. Here we've got this question. So she's done 7,320 plus 912, and she's got this answer here, 16,440. So if you've got to use approximation or estimation, so try and round these. I'd say round this to the nearest 100. You can start rounding to the nearest 100, round that to the nearest 100, or you can round them to the nearest 1,000. Maybe that to the nearest 1,000, that to the nearest 100, and get your answer, and you can see why she's gone wrong. Then it's asking you to complete these calculations. So it's asking you to do the real answer, but you might want to use estimation first. For example, if you're doing A, I'd round this to the nearest thousand, so that'd be 4,000. And I'd round that to the nearest thousand as well, so that'd be 7,000. And then in my head, I know that's 11,000, so that would be my estimate or approximation. 11,000, and then I'd do the actual calculation. So I'd just go and then do that answer as well in like a normal column method, and then I'd see what my answer is and just check it against my estimate. It should be fairly close to them. So you've got another addition, you've got a subtraction, and then you've got two adds and a subtract, and then try and work out those things there. Then here you've got trying to estimate which town has the greatest population. So you've got town A, town B, town C, and you've got some numbers for under 16s, 16 to 65, and over 65 there. So just do an estimate for each one. So for example, I'd round each one to the nearest thousand. So I've got 4,000, 36,000, and 2,000. So add that all together, so you've got 42,000 would be the estimate for town A, and you can do the same for these two. Which one do you think has the biggest, so the greatest population? Again, applying this to different situations. So number 6 is, are these statements correct, and how do you know? So they think that 29,999 take away 9,999 is the same as or equal to 30,000 take away 10,000. What do you think? Would it be the same answer? Do you know? How do you know? Then they're saying this side is greater than this side. So you've got to round them and then see if they're correct. And the same with this one as well. Here, Mo has made a mistake with his calculation. So it started off being 17,432 take away 8,487. So he's got that answer, which you can see is wrong. So if we did some rounding, so if we rounded this to the nearest thousand and this to the nearest thousand, then did the takeaway, we'd have an estimated answer. And then we could see actually this can't be true, it's too far away from our estimated answer. So just see if you can show that. And then finally, number 8, Mr. Khan writes his question on the board. 7,395 takeaways, 711. Dexter's made an estimate. Whitney's made an estimate as well. Whose estimate do you agree with? And try and explain your answer. Then work out the actual answer. Whose estimate was the closest? Don't worry about the talking about with a partner because you can't do that. Okay, hopefully that helped. And I'll see you next time.